Hello and welcome to this touch designer tutorial. Today we're gonna learn how we can create this Kinect depth instancing using touch designer. So here I added a simple movement system. I will demonstrate by pressing the middle mouse. I can move to the sides here of the geometry. If I want to stop, I can just click in the middle. And as you can see, we have the depth position of our hand. So you can see my hand here moving towards and away from the Kinect. So yeah, we can reset it by pressing 1, and yeah, so this is what we're gonna learn today, how we can do this in under 10 minutes. So let's get started. I'm gonna start from scratch and delete everything. So let's do this. First thing, we add Kinect top and we mirror image and set the unknown value to 0.18. Then we add a level top and we change the invert to 1 and the black level to 0.1. Then duplicate this level here and connect it again. And now we only want to change the brightness to 5 and duplicate it again, and this time set it back to 1. And we want the black level to be 0, and let's turn the gamma to 0.25. So we obtain this result. Then let's add a fit, and now we add a grid sub on top here, and now let's add a null comp to create our resolution parameters. So right click inside of here and customize component and type res, make sure it's a float, and add parameter. You can set this to 256 depending on your computer. You might want 512. And the size, we can set it to 4.5, 4.2 actually, sorry, and the maximum to 5, let's say. And one last parameter, we're gonna set the depth as a float as well, from 0 to 1, and it's a default 0.5. So great, now we have our custom parameters here. You can right click on the res and assign it to the fit resolution here. Click on the resolution and paste reference. Do the same in here, the rows and the columns of the grid. And copy now the size and assign it to the size of the grid here. Great, so now we are gonna do some chop instancing here. So let's drag from the fit and go to the chop panel and say top 2. So this will give you the data of this image, and we'll only use the red channel. So delete the other ones, and in the crop change the row to full image. Now add a shuffle, and in the shuffle say sequence channel by name, and we're gonna do the same from the grid here. Go to the chop, sub to chop, and let's just select from this one. We only need the TX and TZ. So now we merge these two together. by adding a merge. Drag this one in here, and now just create a null and call it pause for position. Great, so now let's add a box sub, and the box sub, let's change the size to 0.2, and this one 0.25. Oops. Like this, and add a transform and set the uniform scale to 0.1. And now let's add a geo. Oh, I forgot one thing actually. For the grid here, sorry, we want Z explain. Forgot that. Great. So now we added the geo. Go add a camera too, and camera we can set it to 10 and 0.3. Let's also add a light, and we'll go back to this one in a second. Now add a render top, set the resolution to what fits your screen. You can add an RGB key and a level actually here, also increase it to 1.5 and a null to end this off, called BG. Now we can add a material to our geo, so let's add a PBR material and param material, and turn down the metallic roughness, specular level 0.5 and occlusion 0.5. Can enable the rim here also, gives a little coating on our object and crank it up a bit. Okay, so now we have this. We want to assign the position to our geometry, so go to the instance page and turn on instancing, drag the pause to the default instance OP, and select TX. Oh, actually here I forgot to rename before the merge, rename it to TY. So now we have TX, TY and TZ. So now in the geometry, let's the RX 90 degrees. We can turn on the background here. So the light here, I'm gonna turn down the dimmer to something like 0.06, sorry, and make sure like I want this light to be behind the object, so I can, I don't know, that's what I set up in my last project, so I can duplicate this, and this time let's say 0.6, and this one move it more in front and make it distant light. And turn on the shadows, soft 2D mapped, and this one turn it to 113 and this one to 0, so this gives us a nice contrast. Alright, so this is basically it. I'm not sure if I forgot anything. Yeah, for the shadows, increase the resolution to 2048 to have some cooler shadows. You can add more lights if you want to further get more depth sensation. So now let's build the movement system for the last part. So let's add a mouse in chop up on top here and select. And sorry, before that, let's add the C for click on the middle button. You can choose whatever you want, and I'm gonna select TX here. After TX, we're gonna add a logic and select when outside bounds. This is good. We're gonna select 25 here, and here we're gonna do the opposite. We're gonna do -1 and -0.25. So this way, when my mouse is on this side and on this side, we get a different value. And we're gonna use a math here to subtract these channels together, these chops, sorry. And then we can add a hold. And let's add a keyboard so we can reset the movement system, and you can drag the keyboard into the pulse here, and we can add the click to the hold last. Then add a speed chop, and finally let's add before that we can add a filter if we want to filter things. That can be nice, so let's crank it down to 0.5, let's say, and use a math at the end and multiply it by 10. So this gives us a good balance for this, and we can basically we can duplicate this part and change the TX to TY, and so now we can use like a select to make this clean, TX and TY, and we can select everything and press collapse selected. Here it is, and so now we have this tool. You can use it for other projects if you want. So let's call it mouse mouse click rotation. Good. So this you can place it in your components, for example, like so. So now it's in my folder, and let's just add an out here actually, so we can have press U to exit, I to enter. One more thing, the speed here, select both speeds and drag the keyboard 1 to this and add a null, and then let's use this on our geo TX goes in RY actually, and TY goes in RX, and we can add 90 and minus here. So yeah, now it moves around weirdly, but if you press 1, now it resets the view. Okay, and the scale, I did 175, and I moved it up a bit, so it's well centered. So you can just use these values if you want. So I think this is the kind of, yeah, this is a kind of appropriate system, and yeah, we have good details. You know, like we can increase to 512 here to get even more details, and and I think it's quite interesting. So the main trick here is, of course, using the level. We wouldn't obtain this without a level. And actually that reminds me that we have this depth parameter that we can assign to the black level here. So that way it will hide your background a bit more. You see my room here appears, my bed, my door, and if I increase it, we vanish in the infinite space of digital realm. So hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Feel free to share any thoughts. Of course, it's available on my Patreon, and share any ideas, and I hope you're gonna do some cool projects with this. Anyways, have a nice day, and see you in the next one.